Let's see here. What's up, everyone? Once again, this is Ty Zen with other folks from the Next development community here, and this will be update number 5 of the community, the Next community development and the Next community and development update number 5. And fortunately, this time I'm not running to the airport like I was last time, so I hope that the audio and the video is much better. If you are watching us live on the YouTube live stream, if you can just leave a comment that the audio and the video is good or not in the comment section, that way the rest of us can know if you guys can see us. I've posted the links to the next forum for this update, and to the nextcoin.org forum as well, and the nextforum.org. And if you guys want to join us and provide an update with us on this update today, please use the Google Hangout link. If you just want to watch and do not plan on providing any updates, please use the YouTube live stream update. Okay, so that way you got we have enough room on here because there's a limit of 10 people, and David is not able to join us today, and he asked me to let everyone know and update everyone on the next.org website that he is doing, and he said that they are working in the background and they have some technical issues and they do not want to roll out the next.org yet until those technical issues are cleared up, and they've been very busy on it. And they also, he said that they're trying to translate it into a couple of languages that covers the majority of the Next user community. So that's what they're working on, and he'll update us some more on it once they get more done. I also have Bass with us here today. Well, you said that you had some information from a pencil.
Yeah. The main thing is for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they have been working on a comprehensive design for the Next website. It's of course nobody will be forced to use anything like it, but what we wanted was a recognizable design that anyone could use as a template. If they wanted to have logos, if they wanted to have a color scheme, if they wanted to have a style guide. And
hey, just real quick,
yeah.
Bass, do you have a microphone available?
No.
Okay.
I can go closer. Is this better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Probably. It's not. It's my laptop microphone, so not that good. Just warn me. A style guide, color scheme, etc., for ease of use. So if people want to build a website and they want it to be recognizably Next, then this could be used. We found a very good guy with a team, and he's been working for 4 weeks. He's also helping out with the Amsterdam conference, which will be the 15th to the 17th of May, here in Amsterdam, of course. He's made a brilliant backdrop for us, for our booth, and tomorrow he will release the finished style guide. So anyone who wants to know how the scheme, the template is actually built up, and what the colors are, they can use that style guide.
Okay. Can you put a link in the comment section so that people will know where to go and look for this corporate design? I also, while you were doing that, I would like to add to the Next community that please do not mistaken the term corporate design for thinking that Next is a corporate. Okay, it's just a label that we use to describe the type of design that the community has voted on and decided on, so that it can be used across the board. If you plan on using I'm gonna post that real quick in the YouTube live stream so people can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, it says that we're not allowed to put it in the.
Ah.
So we'll have to put it in the description later.
Yeah.
Okay.
The idea about the corporate design, the corporate design name was basically, as you say, a label where this thread started. That's why I tried to use the label comprehensive. The
Okay.
idea is to make it recognizable for everyone. We all know that, for instance, the color of also not a very good if we want to avoid corporation, but Coca-Cola red, everybody recognizes it at the other side of the street. If you go to sites of YouTube for instance, everybody recognizes the logo immediately. We try to do the same for Next. So if you go to a site, you see, oh, this is Next, this is this crypto,
Yes.
and nothing more. And it's totally free. If people want to do something else or add to it, they're free to do that.
Okay.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I just want to let people in the next community know that you are welcome to come up with your own design.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, hey, Bitventure, could you please mute your microphone? Okay. Um, you guys are welcome to use your own design for your next websites or for your whatever projects that you're doing. But in case you do not know how to come up with your own design or your own logos, you are welcome to use the corporate design that the community has created. Okay? So just you are welcome to take the ones that we have and make some changes to it. But just keep in mind that if you're not a professional graphics designer, we invite you to just use the one that the community has already created for you. Okay. Is there anything else about the corporate designs?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Also, whenever I spoke with David, and he mentioned that when the corporate designs are done, they will be included in the next.org website also. And I plan on using it on the nextfoundation.org website also, just so it has some continuity. I might make some small changes to it, but the overall design will be kept the same.
In the thread, by the way, that I just posted and that we're going to put in the description of the YouTube stream, um, these persons are perfectly willing to help out. When we came up with business cards, with flyers, with anything, they immediately said, "Okay, if you want us to help, please ask us," and they do so. And they know the ideas, of course, behind it. So, and they are professionals. It's a professional agency who does this for free. Basically, they got a bounty, but they're willing to help you. Don't be
Okay.
shy.
All right. Is there anything else that you need to add?
That you need to have?
No, that you need to add.
Oh, no.
All right. All right. Well, I'll jump over to the next person that came in is John. Are you available, John? Okay. We'll go with Data, and then we'll come back to John later.
Okay.
Is there any updates that you have for us, Data?
Just a few minor points, not as much as last time. One thing is that Sandy Labs, Alex, is getting really up to speed now, and he's extremely experienced Java developer and very enthusiastic about Next. And we are quite happy to have him on board.
That's great.
In regular Skype chat. And also, he is going to work on the alias transfer now. So he is already that much up to speed and has oriented himself in the code that he can now pick specific tasks, which he's going to do, beginning with the alias transfer. The other thing is that we are also trying to get a few more developers in, but we are going through a kind of process where we try to attract them and first get them orient themselves in the code and then contribute just something. so that we can slowly integrate them, because we do not have a project manager who might be able to assign specific tasks and to look for the proper delivery of milestones and work packages and all these kinds of things. So we have to apply a slightly different method and have it more in a loose way where interested developers might gravitate just towards the developer community and pick some tasks and work packages for themselves. So this is the second approach we are taking there, with Alex getting very firmly involved now. Also, a little addition from Jean-Luc there, and that is that he's working right now at implementing the digital goods store API. And that would be so much from my part.
Okay. Does anyone else here have any questions for Data?
Yes, please, questions.
Give me 1 second here. All right. Since no one has any questions, let me turn it over to John. Are you available now, John?
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had a call. A car broke down yesterday, so had to figure out the shop issues. Yep, I'm available if that's okay.
Okay. John, could you introduce yourself since this is your first time on this update?
Yeah, you bet. I'm John Manglavidi. You might know me on the site as Cointropolis just a bit.
Okay.
I worked with Feathercoin, extensively PeerCoin before coming to Next.
Okay, and you were also one of the candidates that was that the community selected for the marketing committee. You were not voted in there, but you were definitely one of the candidates for it.
Yes.
All right. So welcome to the update today. What do you have for us?
Yeah, I got some interesting news. I got 3 bits of information. It is number 1 is Gocoin. Number 2 is going to be TrekCon. And number 3 is going to be meetups. So I'll start off with Gocoin. Gocoin, hopefully you guys are familiar with Gocoin. If not, they're a payment processor similar to a BitPay and a Coinbase. Now, one of the guys brought up yesterday said, don't we have a payment processor for Next already through Coin Payments? And we do. But Gocoin is more along the lines of a BitPay, where they do a fiat transaction right to a merchant's bank account. They just got $1.5 million infused last month, so they're a big deal. They currently support Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Doge right now. So I've known Steve for a while, the CEO over there. Nickel and myself met up with him in Miami, talking about Next, and this is an area I want to really focus on as a community to get a swarm going. They're familiar with who we are. What we need to do is show them support, that we're serious about taking on a payment processor. I just last night finished up a project with them. Can't really go into detail about that right now, but they knew who we are. They asked for Nickel and my help to help them with some promotion stuff. So I'm going to work with David to put a swarm out to just let Gocoin know it's not just me and Nickel talking, it's an entire community. But what will this do for us? As I talk to small merchants, the biggest obstacle I get is, okay, so I accept Next. Now what do I do with it? Well, you hold on to it. I've worked with merchants with PeerCoin in the past, so I'm very familiar with this process. And they keep hitting me with, okay, well, I can't pay my employees with it. I can't purchase product with it. If we get Gocoin, or what I should say, when we get this, it'll be a very easy system where basically the merchant won't even see Next coming through if they don't want to. It's an automatic conversion. Life is easy. So I really want to focus on that as a community. I'm in direct contact with the CEO. I just need your support to email them and say, look, we're serious about this. So we made great progress yesterday. Nickel and I spent a couple hours working with them on a project, and they were really impressed with what we got done. So that's the first thing.
Okay, just a quick question here. Now, do you go by what would you prefer to go by, as John or Cointropolis or Thrifty Nickel or what? John?
Yeah, Yeah, John's fine. I'm just a bit
Okay.
on the forum, but John's cool. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, John. Could you say the name of that website again so that we have it?
You bet. It's going to be Gocoin.
All right. Gocoin.
Yep. It should be Gocoin.com. Let me double check that. Yeah, Gocoin.com.
All right.
So, again, major focus. I would really like to see us spend some time letting them know how serious we are about kind of processor. Number 2 is TrekCon.
Just real quick.
TrekCon.
Just real quick, John, before you move on
please.
to the next piece of the update, I pulled up Gocoin here. So Gocoin is a merchant processor. Then it's not an alternative currency. It's not a altcoin. Is that correct?
Right. They're like Pay or Coinbase, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they are a merchant processor.
Those are
like
major.
Coinbase. Okay, I just wanted to make sure so the audience knows that we are not here to promote another altcoin. That this is a next update. So, okay, so they are a merchant processor, and I'm glad that you brought that up because we had one member, Vladimir, in the community, and he kept leaving comments asking us when we were gonna roll out a next a version of BitPay or Coinbase for the next community. Right. So I'm glad that you you brought this up. Okay, so you said that you encourage the members of the next community to email Gocoin and ask them to incorporate Next into their merchant processing system?
Yes, that's exactly what. I'm going to work with David and put a swarm together. I'm going to work on that today, actually, at my next lunch break. But yeah, we need to, it's only so much Nickel and I can do from our end. We need to show them that we're really serious about getting support in for merchants.
Okay.
Because what it comes down to, a company like that is, what are we going to do for them in return? In other words, by adding us, what does that do for their company? And with our support and the features we have, I think we can really sell that. So now's the time to do it.
Okay, so just for the non-technical people, John, the people that are not in the business, day-to-day business stuff, and they're not familiar with the merchant processor, could you just explain in like non-technical and non-business terms why it's important that Next has a merchant processor?
Sure, be happy to. So, for example, let's say that as a community we go to a couple local stores, let's say in our own community, and we say, hey, we really would like you to accept Next. And the merchant's going to turn around and say, okay, well, what do I do with these coins that I collect? The challenge cryptos have is, well, what does the merchant do with it once they collect it, right? We can say, well, they can just hold on to it. They can just hold Next as an investment. But they have bills to pay. They have people to pay. What typically they want is an easy way to convert to cash. So what a payment processor does is it's basically an intermediary, meaning that, for example, an employer could offer a QR code. Let's say we're a restaurant. The restaurant, your bill is $27.40. Go ahead and put a QR code. You go ahead and pay with Next, and they never actually see the Next. It's converted right to fiat and sent to their bank account. So it's a payment processor such as BitPay, Coinbase, or Gocoin would make it almost a no-brainer for any business to accept Next. They don't have to be technically inclined. The merchant handles all the conversion for them. They just need to collect the money and roll in it, Scrooge McDuck style. So that's a big deal. It's a really big deal because we get a lot of pushback when going to businesses about accepting Next. Is they say, well, look, we're not technical. We don't want to deal with wallets or brain wallets or whatever you're talking about. This makes it very easy for them. A couple clicks later, and a merchant can be up and running supporting Next. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense. And what happens if, like, let's say for the online businesses that have, myself, I'll use myself as an example. Let's say that I have a sports training site and I sell speed training programs, and I want to accept Next as a business. So how does Gocoin help me? Do they provide me with the software, the merchant account? So do I go there and create an account with them like I do with Coinbase or BitPay, and they set it up on my WordPress site, or how does that work?
Yeah, they have a series of merchant tools. I don't know all the extensions they have, but essentially, when a business applies for Gocoin, they get access to all the, they go through the checks and what have you, but they have all the different tools where they basically tell you, put this button on your website or put this on your blog, and then they handle all the action in the back end. From a business perspective, you then go into your portal and just decide, okay, I want to convert it to cash, or I only want the coin I want to keep next and keep it in a wallet. So basically what they do is they take all the tech out of it for the business.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else have any other questions for John regarding the merchant processing with Gocoin? All right. I have two last questions for you about that, John. In the cryptocurrency world, there's always the issue of trust. Now, you have been a trustworthy member of the Next community since the beginning. You and your partner Nickel. So we know you, right?
Yeah.
But now you're introducing Gocoin to the Next community, and obviously you have a level of trust with the Next community already. And so how does the Next community know that? Is this a part of your business, or are you a member of Gocoin or anything like that? Is there any disclaimers that you need to make, or disclosures that the community needs to be aware of?
Yeah, no relation whatsoever. Like anything else in crypto, I ask you, please do your own due diligence. But how this came about was, I don't want to talk about this. Yeah, I'll bring it up. So when I was with PureCoin, we were looking to try to work with either Coinbase or BitPay, because both of those were the two majors in processing. And BitPay made it very clear they have absolutely somewhat of an interesting conversation with them a couple times, but they have absolutely no intention of adding any alts anytime soon. At least that's what it was last year. They were pretty adamant about that. And then I spoke with Coinbase, and also spoke with Charles Lee from Litecoin a bit. And, even before Litecoin gets on, it's going to be a while. There's still, a lot of confusion about using Bitcoin to the general public. So they're not interested, at least the last time I spoke to them, they're not interested in any other alts right now because, Bitcoin's the bread and butter, and once that's established, then they will probably move on to Litecoin. So the third guy that popped up was Gocoin. They had an infusion, I think, was $500,000 originally, and I know they did $1.5 million last month. And unlike the other two, they were open to adding in. They first added Litecoin, then added Dogecoin. And speaking to Steve, their CEO, he was committed to really become the payment processor, where he said, we're companies like Coinbase, they're doing a lot of different things. They're merchant services, and they're a wallet, and they sell Bitcoin. Gocoin wants to just be the best of the best in terms of payment processors. So that's how I got introduced to them as an option. And the fact that they had that auto conversion to fiat was a big deal. And that's how it kind of established. I had no prior relationship with them.
Okay.
I met them at the Miami. I met Steve at the Miami conference for you guys. Yep.
Okay. And so
Does that
basically,
answer that for you?
yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So basically, you approach Coinbase and BitPay, but they have no interest in adding altcoins to their merchant processing system, and
Right.
so you were forced to go to Gocoin, who was the only merchant processor that was available that was willing to accept Next, and then I understand that they converted to fiat also, to dollars or euro or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So they're very much like, and they're in that same category, but they're looking at the market a little bit differently. So that's why I wanted to try to tackle that.
All right. Okay. That's all the questions I have about Gocoin. Unless someone else in the Google Hangout has a question for John about that, or if someone that's watching the live stream has a question about that.
There's one thing I'd also like to add to this. I'm a merchant myself, and I'm into Next, but for my day job I'm a merchant, and this is actually one of the things that is very difficult. We may want to trade in Next and do things with it, but bills come along, and if people want to make a living of it, exactly that fiat exchange, however much some people might have second thoughts about that, at this point is really good. And what the future holds, we can't know. But for now, this is very interesting to me too.
All right, so this is extremely important that we have people can accept payments in Next for business, because it's the businesses that's gonna increase the value of Next and use the platform. Individual users are not going to increase the price or the value of Next. It's the business that come on that is going to bring up the value, because they have bigger volume than an individual will deal with. My question to you is last question to you is this, John. Richard Hartness on YouTube, he asked, is Gocoin live with Next, or is it coming? My understanding is that it's coming, right? It's not going live yet. Is that
no?
That
There's no confirmation for it. What I'm saying is, where we have this relationship now with them, where we need to prove that the Next community is serious about it.
Okay, so
they haven't committed to, but they know. I've talked to Steve. Nickel and I email Steve probably twice a week now. We're at that stage where they know we're serious. We talked about the benefits over and over about what our community can do for them. That's what's important. Is we're letting them know that we can get out there, contact merchants, make it happen for you.
Okay.
What I need from the Next community now is to say, look, we want this on there now.
All right, so that it's very clear on what members of the Next community need to do to get Gocoin to implement Next as part of their merchant processing system. Who exactly do they need to email, or who exactly do they need to contact at Gocoin? Is there a page set up at the Next forum? Is there a page set up at Bitcoin Talk or something to where people can vote on it? Or where do they go? Because if the instructions are not clear, then it makes it very difficult for people in the Next community that want to help out with this process to go and do it.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm going to work on that today. Nickel and I just finished a project for them last night that took a couple hours. So I felt like now is the time to say, okay, we did our part. We showed all the advantages and such. They're not convinced yet. They haven't put us on the list yet, but they're listening. So now I'm going to put a swarm together. I'll post it both in Bitcoin Talk and on the Next forum, and I'll have all the information on who to email, what are some of the major points. And then I'll go back in a week of Steve and say, hey, look, here's where we're at. Here's our coders. Let's make this work. So that's kind of where we're at with this.
Okay.
So just to clarify, there's no confirmation yet of Next, but we're at the point where we need to push it.
Okay. So this is extremely important, guys, for people that's in the Next community. It's extremely important that a business can accept Next as payment, and that there is a payment processing system that will convert it to fiat for them. So I invite you to provide that information in the Next community update, also underneath this link in the forums, and that way the people will know about it also, John, because that's extremely important. And I would also, myself and probably on behalf of the Next community, I'd like to say thanks to you and Thrifty and David for working on this. Okay.
You bet.
So what else do you have besides the merchant processing?
Sure. Springfield TrekCon. I'm going to talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
This is becoming a much bigger deal than initially planned. So what TrekCon is, it's a Star Trek convention that's going to be held here in Springfield, Missouri. It's been in the planning stages for about 18 months, and I work for a company called JMark with the lead organizer. So that's how I built that relationship. We have a booth for Next at this convention for 3 days. We have speaker spots. We have a full-page ad in their brochure, and we have access to their Trek celebrities. So we basically have run of the place. Right now they have, I believe, 650 tickets sold. Based on projections of other TrekCons, that generally translates to about 5 times the amount based on ticket sales today. So from other organizers, they said you should multiply by 5, so you should be getting about 2,500 to 3,000 people. So that's a pretty good size, and there's no other crypto that's going to be there.
Okay,
so it's a big deal. We're spending a lot of time getting the booth ready, getting this.
Okay, so what do you need from the what do you need from the Next community to take advantage of this Springfield, Missouri Star Trek convention?
Right. The style guide is supposed to be released tomorrow, I believe I heard. That's what we're waiting on for the to use that to use that for the full page ad. So that's going to cover that. As far as the booth goes, we have 4 different monitors set up. We're going to do some demos live there so they can see how to work with Next and different clients. Business cards, I got from Damelin. I got the template for that, so we're going to look that over today.
All right.
I'm going to meet with Nickel later this afternoon. Anything additional we need from the community, we'll let you know. But otherwise, we've been funding it, and we're good to go so far.
Okay. All right. The other thing too is if, let's say, myself or other speakers or other people that want to volunteer and help out with the convention, let's say that they happen to be a Next community member and they happen to be a Star Trek fan and they understand the Star Trek community and everything, and they want to come and help. Do you need volunteers to help? Do you need people to come there and help with the Next booth, or what do you need? So that basically I'm asking for action steps so that the people that are able to help and want to help, they can assist you.
Yeah, I mean, if there's some people that want to come to Missouri and help volunteer, we'd love it because it's going to be our butts all weekend sitting in seats, talking it over. We have it's us there. We have our girlfriends and wives coming in to help hand brochures. I mean, we're just kind of making a local. Everyone's pitching in volunteering time around here to make this work. But if there's a Next member that wants to come in, we'd love to have another speaker. They've offered us another spot if we want to do a second speech. The organizer said we can take it. We've done a lot to help promote this, so they've done a lot for us in terms of whatever we need, they're going to provide for us.
Okay, so if let's say that I want to go out there and speak about the Next platform and share that with the Star Trek community. So we actually have a speaking slot available.
Yes. Yep, we have 2 slots.
And are they like 1-hour slots, 2-hour slots? What?
We have the freedom. There's still a lot of opening. We have the freedom and whatever we need.
All right.
So right now I took a spot for a half hour for mine, which is next generation. Mine's next generation digital currency, talking about how Bitcoin and then translation to Next, how that applies to sci-fi fans, how there's a correlation between next-gen currency versus the vision of Star Trek.
All right, and this is for the people that
we have another spot open. Could be a half hour, an hour.
All right, so that the people around the world know where this is taking place at. You're saying that this Star Trek convention is taking place in the city of Springfield, in the state of Missouri, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So
yes. Close to the.
Just so that for the people that are not in front of a map, that Springfield, Missouri, is very close to. It's basically the center of the United States. It's leaning towards the East Coast, and it's near. It's south of Chicago. If you guys happen to know where Chicago's at, right? So just to give an idea to people in case they're not in front of the map. All right.
About 2.5 hours from Kansas City, 3 hours from St. Louis, the majors.
Okay. I might have to talk to you about that offline to see if I can make it over there. I'll talk to you about that offline. Does anyone else have any questions for John about the promoting Next at the Star Trek convention in Springfield, Missouri?
No, I just want to chip in again that I'm very excited about this. I just looked at the guest lineup and it's hilarious. We have 2 major Klingons in there, General Martok and Chancellor Gowron, for the ones who are trekkers, which I am. And we have 1 major Ferengi, which are the traders of the Star Trek universe. So that's very good.
Okay.
I love it.
I would have to say that really appreciate your efforts there, John, because I've seen a lot of marketing material that's thrown into the Next community, but by far, your projects so far are the most interesting ones that I've seen. And I come from a sales and marketing background, so that's not just from some random person there saying that. So.
A lot of help from Nickel and the rest of the community that's been chipping in, giving advice. So we're really coming together on this.
Yeah, and so I'm really glad that you are on the next community in the next community and not some other altcoin. Because I would hate to compete against you as a marketer. So is there anything else that you would like to share with the community,
Sure.
John?
The other thing is we're going to do the faucet. We're going to put it in the one-page ad to encourage everybody to get some next. And then as they approach the booth, we're going to go ahead and have them try some things out. So Nickel and I are still working out some demo ideas. We really want to impress. The goal is to get all those people using Next. We're also going to be talking to the local businesses as well, which is there's a day before the convention, which is a business day. And we have access to all those guys to talk about what crypto is and how they might be able to use it for their business. So again, just a lot of ideas, a lot of things going down. We'll have more of a summary next couple days. I've been meeting with the organizer again on Thursday. So.
All right. There's a question here. Is the next faucet two things? Is there a hyperlink for that? And is it the faucet that's provided deals with a Jeff Diesel? Is there any?
This is one we're using. We were testing.
Because I think that the Jeff Diesel is part of the marketing committee, and they have established a next faucet there.
Yeah.
And while you are looking that up, John, in case you are watching this on the YouTube live stream and you are not familiar with what a faucet is a donation where the community donates free Next coins to new users so that they can experience what it's like to use it. And I think that the current faucet that is provided by Jeff Diesel and the marketing committee, could you elaborate on that, Bass? I think it's like 50 Next coins or something like that?
No, it's even better than that. This was an old plan already by Jeff Diesel, because one of the things that faucets are notorious for, they give Next away and you have no clue what happens with it. From a marketing perspective, that wasn't a good idea. So Jeff Diesel made a faucet which we can put money in, and people would get codes which they can redeem. That means that the Next that's put in the project that isn't used will just flow back to the Next community, and the Next that is used, we can see how many people actually use the faucet, what they do, etc. So it's a very good way to see how successful such a thing actually is. It's fully automated. It's coded by Wesley, so it's good. And I would like to see it in use. It's meant for these kinds of projects, so it would be a good idea to get into contact with each other, I think.
Okay, and is that the link for it that is provided by John there, the nextra.org?
No, it's a different thing. So.
Okay. That's one we've been using. So yeah, we need to get in contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you get a chance, will you provide the faucet link in the description of this video, and also in the update posts in the forums? That way, people who are tracking this can follow along.
Yeah.
All right. That would be awesome. And just from a non-marketing and non-technical perspective, for the viewers who, in case they not familiar with how marketing works, the reason why they have that promotion code that Bass is talking about is so that they can monitor the amount of new users that are coming into the Next community. Because previous to the promotion codes that Wesley created, that programmed in, there was no way to track how many new users were coming into the Next community and how many people were taking advantage of it. And by the way, in case you don't know, Wesley is the one who programmed the clients, who writes the software codes for the default standard Next client that has just been released. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. So that's it. Is that David who just joined us?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Is that it, John, or is there anything else?
Well, I had one more thing. It's
okay.
The meetups. I want to talk about that briefly.
Okay.
So one focus I have right now with Cointropolis is focusing on meetup groups that might be able to accept the next message. And what I mean by that is libertarian groups, Ron Paul groups, maybe gold bugs. I feel like it's important to reach out of the general crypto community, but just like the sci-fi fans, find people that be receptive to our message. So I'm working on right now listing basically all the contact information for like the Ron Paul groups. And what we're going to do is once the asset exchange is released and we have some good tutorials and some good marketing, we're going to then approach those groups and let them know, hey, Next is out here. You guys are crypto enthusiasts. We want to talk a bit about that, and just try to get those guys involved. I think it's important to really reach out to those groups. When I was helping the Ron Paul campaign in 2004, we did a very similar strategy as contacting libertarian groups, and before there was ever a Ron Paul group, and similar groups, and just getting them talking about it, and that helps spread the message. So that's a focus we have once TrekCon's over.
Okay, I'm glad that you mentioned about Ron Paul because, and I'm happy to hear that you worked with him in the past because he was actually one of the people that I was going to approach and about it myself also. So we can get together offline and discuss our strategies on how to do that and maybe collaborate on that. So I'm really glad to hear that. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, is there any questions for him, guys, from the Google Hangout or from the YouTube live stream? Okay, Richard on the YouTube live stream mentioned that some Bitcoin meetups are pretty open to altcoins, and he used to attend the Charlotte meetup groups, and it's amazing how many Bitcoin fans are out there who aren't aware of altcoins and their benefits. And that's true, Richard. One of the things that each of us have to do as a Next community member and user and investor or trader is that when we have an opportunity, we need to spread the word on it. This is a grassroots effort just like anything else that's in the altcoin community, and the more people that spread the word on it and educate the public on it, then the more that the Next platform can get into more hands and more users. And right now, I'm working on the slides, the PowerPoint slides, to present Next, and it'll probably take me another week before I finish it, just the version, the first beta version of it, and then I will release it to the public as an open source slide with some of the information that Bass has provided to me on top of that, and then we can go from there and figure out how to best present Next to the world. And I invite everyone to participate in it that are able to speak in front of a crowd. Even if you only speak in front of 2 or 3 people, use this slide deck that I created, and then we can get input from everyone who's using it and then make it better. Right now, nobody knows what is the best way to present the Next platform to the public. If you say you do, I'd love to hear, but the reality is no one knows because it's new to everybody. Okay, so we have to work and we have to test, and the only way that we're going to know what is the best way to present this to the public and to businesses is to test what we think and then share it with others and then collaborate to make it better so that our presentation of the Next platform is easily understood and easily used by the public. So,
I would also like to ask people, I know because 2 months ago I already sponsored a very small Next giveaway for a Bitcoin meet, and these meetings have also mostly have themes. Sometimes there's a speaker. This one turned out to have a colored coin speaker. So I encouraged the person who wanted to do this giveaway to do something about the asset exchange, because basically it is about colored coins. These are small groups. If there are people out there who are in these groups and know about them, please contact us. We're open to these kinds of suggestions. So please let us know that you'd like to do something like this, and we'll see what we can work out. I'd really like that.
okay. The other thing that I would are you done, John? I don't want to cut you off if you're not done. Okay.
Good
All
to
right.
go.
Okay. The other guest that I have on here today is Ignacio. Are you available, Ignacio? Okay. While we're waiting for Ignacio to get his mic on and ready, right?
Hello. Hello.
Okay. Hello, Ignacio.
Hey, how are you?
Okay. Welcome to the next community update today. Thanks for joining us from Mexico. You said that you were about what, an hour south of Mexico City?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Ignacio Figueroa, and I'm from Mexico. I live in a beautiful city, Querétaro, which is 2 hours driving west from Mexico City. And well, the reason that I'm here is in any way represent all the Latin American countries who are willing to learn and understand about cryptocurrencies. You know that approximately 550 million people speak Spanish as a native language, making it second only after Mandarin in terms of its number of native speakers worldwide. And it also has 60 million speakers as a second language. We have 20 million students as a foreign language also, and we represent we speak in the United States 35 million people are living there speaking in Spanish. One of the ideas to have this conversation is that we are trying to find the best way to use Next. You know that about 23 billion US dollars from the United States to all of our countries, and we would like to use that, and maybe we can use Next or another cryptocurrencies to use it for our own countries. There's a lot of people here that are willing to learn, and I'm one of those that I thought about 15 days ago that I could do something for my people and take all this news. You know that most of the news that are coming out of the cryptocurrency community are in English, and there's not too much here in Spanish. So my idea was to start a podcast, and that's what I call Ty, and write a letter and ask him if he could help me with taking the word into the Spanish. And for my surprise, he answered me in Spanish, which I didn't know that. And I would like to contribute something with the Next community, either in translating or giving speech or be representative of this Next community into our countries. There's a lot of population that is willing to learn, especially in Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, a lot of countries, and especially also in Spain that are learning, first starting with the Bitcoin and then after that jumping into Next. So I'm here just for being part of the team, and if I can do something, please count on me.
I brought Ignacio on after he contacted me about spreading the word about the Next platform into Mexico and other Latin American countries because I believe that's extremely important. I live in Dallas, Texas, and pretty much in the state of Texas, it's one of the biggest state in the United States, and pretty much I think that there's more people that speak Spanish in Texas than there are that speak English.
Yeah,
okay, so and this is very common along the southern part of the United States and along the coastal areas. So what Ignacio is saying is extremely important, that we somehow need to get the Next platform into the Latin American countries, because their remittance business and the remittance is huge over there. And for the viewers that are not familiar with the remittance, that's where people from Mexico and other Latin American countries come to the United States and work, and they make money, and they need to send the money back to their family members. And right now, it costs at least somewhere on average around 10% to send money back to their families in Mexico, in Argentina, and in other Latin American countries. And if we can somehow get them involved in the Next platform, I think that we can seriously put a huge dent and prevent people from getting ripped off by MoneyGram and Western Union there.
Yeah, there are actually some countries in the world that they charge about 40% of what they send, they keep it. And it's just because of the governments and some agencies that keep that money. And if you send $100, they just receive 60. That's not fair for people. And we're trying to do something. Maybe we can create some platform into the next community and place it into the client. Maybe we can do that will be good, and we can bring a lot of people interested on the platform if we can achieve that.
Okay, so what I would invite members, the Latin and Hispanic community in the next community to do is to reach in contact with Ignacio, and then get in touch with David also, myself and David, and we will set up a Spanish version on the next.org, so that you guys are welcome to create your own Spanish website, but I would highly recommend that since we now have the next.org domain name, that it would be a lot easier for everyone in the community and around the world to just go there and look at the Spanish version. So
yeah, I will be very happy if I can translate it either in writing and even have some speech explaining to our people what exactly is, because there are some terms that are very difficult to understand for people that doesn't know anything about computers. And we are trying to make it more simple so the people can understand without all the terminology. And the most important is, here's your wallet. You can use it like this, and that's easy. That's our intention in the podcast, to make it simple and teach the people that doesn't know anything about cryptocurrencies.
okay, and that's something that Ignacio asked me, and I want to answer this question for everyone that's in the community and for the audience members. Ignacio, when he first reached out to me, he wanted to translate some of Chris Joseph's "What's Up Next," the 1 minute updates on Let's Talk Bitcoin, and he wasn't sure if he was infringing on the copyrights because it was created by Chris Joseph. And I just want to share with the community, in America, the copyright laws are, if you create something, some content, and you copyright it, then it's yours. But when it's content that is paid for by the community, by the public, my understanding is that it belongs to the community and it's public. So all the What's Up Next minutes that were produced by Chris Joseph, because they were funded by the Next community, then it actually belongs to the Next community. It's a public content that you are welcome to use. If you use any of the Chris Joseph's content, which is really great, I would just invite you to make sure that you include him in the credits or link to him, so that people know that it was originally created by Chris Joseph and that you are translating it. If you're using the content, the newsletters from Appenzell, from the Next newsletters on nexter.org, I would invite you to translate it the best you can, and just make sure that you link back to his site and let people know that that's where you originally got the information, and that should be good. So you don't have to ask them directly if you need permission to use their content and translate it to your language. Okay. If Bass or David has anything to add to that, I would invite you guys to add something to that also. This way we don't have to waste time trying to email everyone to get their permission to use their articles and videos. And I will say it, if there's any content that was created by me, you are welcome to use it. You don't even have to credit it to me if you don't want. Feel free to use it and translate to any language that you want. The presentation slide deck that I am creating right now for the Next community, so that everyone can use it, it will be made in English and in Spanish, so that everyone can use it in both languages.
I think it's a very good idea because copyright law can be sometimes irritating. In Europe, it works this way: if you write something, it's automatically yours, even if you if it's not explicitly in a contract, it's yours. Please, if you write something or have an article, be sure to include such things, if you all things for me. Also, if you want to use it, please. But basically, copyright in Europe resides with the writer always from the moment of writing.
Yeah, I just want to add that I think that we should just mention the original author if you translate someone.
Yeah, that way you can be safe.
Yeah, just I was speaking to the copywriter that I have got to write those articles that I sent you, Ty.
Yes.
And he just wanted his name to be mentioned, that he was the author, because that can help him later on in his career.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Make sure that you guys do that. That's extremely important. That whoever's content that you use, make sure that you give them credit for it. Okay. And just so because we are on the topic of copyrights and content about Next and everything, here is something that that was brought to my attention, and the person that brought it to my attention asked to remain anonymous because they don't want to create any drama. Okay. But we have some videos that are created on YouTube by members of the Next community that are blatantly plagiarized. In other words, they are videos that were created by other people, other organizations, other nonprofit organizations, and someone in the Next community has copied them, and all they copied the videos, and all they did was just put Next on top of it in the headlines and in the video. Okay. And the videos have nothing to do with Next. They have absolutely no relation to Next, and these nonprofit videos belong to someone else. They are not created by the Next community. They do not represent Next, and they have no relation to Next whatsoever, other than the fact that the names Next are on there. And I recommend that you do not do this. If we go out there into the into the cryptocurrency world, and we claim that we are the original, the new Bitcoin 2.0, and we are created from scratch, and all this, we cannot go and plagiarize and copy someone else's video and slap our name Next on there, and seem legit. This is blatantly illegal in the U.S. in the United States. If someone wants to sue the person for the video, they can do so without any problems, simply because that is blatant copyright. And we do not want to get in a situation where we are copying someone else's video, the exact video. I'm talking about it was not re-edited or nothing. It's the exact same video. Okay, so I invite you guys that are watching this, if you know this, or if you're doing it, please stop doing that. If you know someone that's doing it, you might want to bring it up to and let them know not to do that. Okay, because we do not want Next to be represented that way. If we are the original cryptocurrency 2.0, the next generation cryptocurrency, and we have the source code written from scratch, right? We don't want to look cheap and go and copy someone else's content and slap our name on it. That would be the equivalent of taking. There's a cryptocurrency out there right now. I can't remember who it is, but they basically copied the MasterCard, the credit card logo, and they put their own name on there. We never ever want to do something like that because it makes it look very cheap. Okay, no one is going to take you seriously when you go copy someone else. That you blatantly copy someone else's work and slap the Next logo on top of it.
I would also the coin that you're looking for was Visa coin, by the way, which turned out to be a scam. So it's double. But it's also a question of some people just don't realize it, and I want to tell to these people, please do your homework. It's not that hard to look up copyright law, and hiding beneath fair use doesn't work with 2 minutes worth of material and no cuts. So, and that's just common sense, I think. So not everything may be used, and please, if they want to sue you, they will.
Okay. All right. Did you want to add something, David? Okay. So to get
No,
this.
no. Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm just in agreement.
Okay.
I think it's deplorable. I don't think we should be doing that, but hopefully the person will stop doing it now. I think that
Okay.
he got the message.
Okay. So let's get back to Ignacio and the Latin American countries. What is the best way for other Spanish-speaking people to contact you to collaborate with you, Ignacio?
Yes, right now I have in the process of creating my webpage, which will be BTalk. But right now you can contact me with the Twitter account, which is BTalk _info _info, or
Okay.
BTalk _info ESP, which is the Spanish version.
Okay. And
Uh,
would you,
yeah,
when we finish here, could you go to the forum and just post your contact info under this
oh yeah, I
update
can
post?
do that.
That way we make sure that we have the
Yeah, I
correct.
can do it.
All right. What else can the community help you
Yeah.
do to spread the word about the next platform in the Latin American countries?
I would like to do some things, Ty. The first is there any way that you guys can implement OST or a subdomain in so that people can be interested with that? Thing? And the second, who's managing the client? Obviously, what we can do uh, in order to translate that into English. There's a lot of communities are
Okay.
doing great
Um,
things there, and I think they will be very happy to help us also.
okay. I just missed what you just said there. If someone else heard what he said and can repeat it, that would be awesome. Or
Can you hear me?
yeah, because the audio was breaking up pretty bad there.
Let me show you that the question that we can use the word faucet in Spanish, and so get the word in Spanish, especially for faucet. The second is on translating the client.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off there, Ignacio, but for some reason your connection it just went really bad. It just we cannot hear you at all. So I know you were listing some of the things that you needed assistance with. If you could list it in under the YouTube comments so that people can see it, or list it in the forum. That way people will know to reach out to you. Okay. So. All right. Um, okay. Ignacio wants to know if we can translate the client into Spanish. What we'll have to do, Ignacio, is this. That is definitely possible, and Lionel mentioned to do it in French too. And what I would recommend that you guys do is if you guys download the client, the Wesley client, and then take a screenshot of it, and then where all the English words are at, if you can just scratch it out and put in the Spanish and the French vocabulary to match it, and then submit that screenshot to Wesley, it will make it a lot easier for him so that he doesn't have to do the translation. Right? And Ignacio asked to create the faucet in Spanish also, and that can definitely be done. Like I said, once we create the English faucet, if you can just go there and translate to Spanish, then it makes it a lot easier to do it in English. Okay. So I just want to real quick, guys, update you guys on the Wesley client because it has now been released, and there's a few things that I want to update people on. I went to it and I downloaded and installed it, and there's a few issues, a few things that I want to make very clear. Okay, I'm actually in contact with Wesley. He's on Skype right now, telling me where to go here. Okay, so Wesley is focused on creating the code and writing the code, so he does not have time to jump around and run around and look on the forums for all the bugs and the issues that's going on with the Wesley client. So Bass and I have suggested that there be a one thread that deals with the client issues, so that the users can go and post it there, and Wesley can go there and look at it and review it and fix what he can. So we don't want him running around town trying to look for the bugs. Okay, it's our responsibility as the user of the Next platform and the client to let him know. And the link is provided here. I will provide the link in the next update, and it is at the nextforum.org, and it's the official client bugs, errors, etc. Right? That was created by Bass under the display name Damelon. And I invite everyone to use it and make transfers and basically, I hate to say it like this, but test the shit out of that client and report back any bugs and issues to Wesley. And in order for us to roll this out and get wide mainstream adoption, it's extremely important that all the critical issues are worked out of it. And so please let him know, okay? And if you see people with questions and answers and you are familiar with the platform, I invite you to respond to the questions and answers also, because that will save time for Wesley to focus on coding, writing the software code for the client, instead of spending too much time and wasting his time on something that others in the community can do. All right. So,
do we have any bounties for bugs?
I'm not sure. Let me ask him real quick.
Bounties, you say, David?
Yeah, I think that would be.
I still have a small fund which came from Nexon's clients. I'd be willing to put up a few bounties for bigger bugs. It's not that much, but
Okay.
I think that should be possible, and if it's critical, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
No
I
problem.
think.
And then it's also for a client, so it goes to the same kind of project. That's even better.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right. Wesley responded. He said that we'd have to check with the tech development committee to see if there's any bounties available. He's not aware of it at the moment. The other thing that he wanted me to let everyone in the community know also is that within the next today or tomorrow, within the next couple of days, he will be coming out with the Windows setup version, the setup to install the Wesley client on the Windows computers. So be expecting that. There was a also, I'd like to also mention that there was one big confusion on the Wesley client that I encountered, and I think that it's important to mention it now. When you first install the Wesley client, it says beta version, and just know that that is the real account. It's not a test net, and it's not anything like that. Hey, Wesley just joined us. Why don't you update us with some of your stuff there, Wesley? Is your mic on?
Hey, you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now.
Well,
yeah, since you're here and you're the author of the client, why don't you go ahead and give us the update instead of having me do that?
I have a Windows version ready tomorrow or today, I don't know, that automatically installs itself and installs Java and any other requirements too. So the Mac version will get updated too by tomorrow.
Okay. What about Ignacio from Mexico and Lionel asked about the Spanish and the French versions of your client. What is the best way to do that?
I haven't added any code yet to allow multilingual in the application, so it isn't yet possible now, but of course people can start translating it, the interface, everything you see, the error messages, and when the time is right, I can add it easily.
Okay. Mario asked if there can be a language file included with the Wesley client.
Yeah, in the future that will be done.
Okay, so you invite everyone in the community who wants a different language to go ahead and do the translation and submit them to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and what is the best format to do that in? Should it be on a Word document, or I mentioned earlier, just take a screenshot of your client and then just label it with the correct vocabulary? Is that the best way, or what is the easiest way for you to?
The easiest way would be to take the exact English text and put that on one line, and under that line you put the translated line, and preferably in a plain text document.
In a plain text document?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I don't know if you're fluent in French, Lionel, but if you can help with that for the French version, and if Ignacio can help with the Spanish version, and others, then we can cover that. At least those are two, of the more major languages. And is there anything else regarding the Wesley client that we need to know about? You still there, Wesley? Okay. While we are waiting for Wesley to reconnect.
Hello.
Yeah.
What was your question again?
Is there anything else that the community needs to know about the Wesley client?
Well, in version 1.0.0, I forgot to remove the beta message notice. If you've seen it, I will remove it in the next version. But it's no longer beta. It's.
Okay, so you will remove that in the next version. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Is there anything else, or that's it?
Not anything special at the moment. I am also looking into adding some kind of plugin support for third-party website makers, or for example, who can integrate certain features into the client. But that's ways off still. And also, of course, a wallet-like system, encrypted wallet, which will also be done.
Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. And hey, I like to say, thank you on behalf of the Next community for your work. It's a really, really nice client. Very much, very easy to use and very intuitive.
Thank you.
Okay. And I plan on. Bass, you mentioned that. Would you like to share, Bass? You said that you're looking to put a bounty out for someone to create the installation tutorials or other stuff for the Wesley client. Could you announce that?
Yeah, there are at the moment there are 3 bounties up. There's a few things about bounties. We've now started a thread. This is one of the things to get the wiki founded again, so that people working on the wiki will, depending on how much work they do, get a percentage of that bounty. So that was for January and February there, but then it disappeared. We're bringing that back. We're trying to get funding for a whole year. So it's double pronged. The wiki can be updated in as many languages as we need. Also, it's a very easy way for people to earn some next. Who don't have technical skills, for instance. So that will be the future. For 3 very critical parts, I have put up also a bounty from that the funds that Nexon, one of the client developers from the start, he refunded, and I put up 15,000 NXT for 3 articles. One, a tutorial for Wesley's installed client that comes with the Next software standard. One for the API, And there's one other one which I don't remember at the moment, but all of those are up for 5,000 NXT. So if people want to take it up, then they can take that. Let me see, I have it here. It's an API wiki article, API wiki article, a client interface article, and an article for the asset exchange for the future.
Okay.
And these articles should be as easy as possible. It's entry-level work. So try to work with illustrations, pictures, use everything that you can to make it as easy and intuitive for people. Plus, if you do it and you encounter bugs, put them in the thread.
Okay. Hey, Wesley, while you're still here, I have a question about the client before I forget here. What is the difference between the web browser-based client right now and the Windows installation client? What type of people should use the web version, and which one should use the desktop version?
Well, no one should use this web version at the moment. It only connects to the testnet on my site, so that's one thing. But I am so I have the Windows and Mac versions downloadable, and they will open in a standalone window, so it will not be open in the browser. And you can well, there is some extra things like encrypted wallets that will only be able to be done locally. And then I'm also going to do Firefox and Chrome extensions of this client, so that that will be the web client, I think. And these will also have access to the system and also.
So for the regular user, is it better for them to use the desktop version or the web version?
If you use the desktop version, you are helping to protect the system by forging and so on. And if you use the web version, you connect to another node. So yeah, it depends on your priorities.
Okay, so basically, let me make sure I understand you correctly from a non-technical perspective here. If I am using your desktop version where it downloads to my computer and it installs on my computer, then I am basically a node. I am helping to process and secure the network. And then if I use the web version, then I'm not doing that. I'm just connecting to another node that is doing that.
Yeah, that's correct. And with the Windows version, you will download the entire blockchain to your system, of course. And that is not the case if you use the Firefox version or the web client.
Okay, so if you don't have a lot of space, memory on your computer, then go ahead and use the web version. If you have plenty of space and on your memory space on your computer, then you would recommend that the user use the desktop version so they can help process and secure the network.
Yeah, and also in the future, it may be that there are some things that are not possible on the web version because browsers have a security permission model, which does not allow certain things. But if we have on the desktop version, we can circumvent those things.
Okay.
But that's for the future. At the moment, it's still exactly the same.
So is it safer to say that it's better overall for the entire community if more people are using the desktop version, just so that the next network is more secure and there's more nodes available to process transactions?
Yes, but well, if you have some new users, perhaps it's easier for them to just use the web version or something. But yeah, usually it's best to download the desktop client, yes.
Okay, so for new users, it's easier to direct them to the web client, and then for the ones that are more experienced, then direct them to the desktop client.
Yeah, but it's also just one-click install, so it should be just as easy. But yeah, it allows for a quick demo online. You know.
Okay, all right. That's all the questions I have about the Wesley client. Do any of you guys have any other questions for Wesley? Okay. Well, that's it for this week, Wesley. I'm going to wrap it up. If no one else has any announcements or updates to make, I want to make. Does anyone have any more? I'm just going to spend the last 5 or 10 minutes here real quick just to make a marketing announcement or clarity here.
There's one thing I do want to bring up, kind of important. It's also on bounties. For the marketing committee, we for the last month we've been giving bounties for projects that were proposed to us. We're now also going to turn it around. We're now talking in our own application section, and everybody is invited to join. About a system for giving out bounties for speakers to conferences. This was originally proposed by Adam Levine, and we thought it a very good plan. We tweaked it a bit, and Chris Joseph, who also does the 1 minute pieces, he has made a criteria list for applying to those bounties. The idea is that this hopefully will be through next week, and people who want to speak for next can look in that thread and see what they can do, and you can win bounties with that, because we think it's an important thing for at least the coming 6 months to get people out there speaking on NXT.
Okay, thanks, Beth. I'm going to say this about marketing and wrap it up for today's update. One of the I've had several people contact me privately about me speaking up about marketing. They've asked me, and I'll mention one of them. One of them is Bitcoin Paul. You know, he asked me, and not just him, but other people have asked why I haven't spoken up about marketing and be more vocal about it, right? And voice more about it, okay? And here are my thoughts, and just so you guys know, so that you know where I'm coming from, I actually work in sales and marketing every week. That's how I do it on 100% commission. If I don't produce, then I don't. I won't be able to make enough money to support my family. So I've been doing that for several years now, on top of the trading that I do in the markets, in the Forex and the markets and the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets. But so I want to share this with you guys. The reason why I don't propose too many marketing ventures or proposals to the marketing committee is this. The reason why is because, number one, is that you have to know your target audience of who it is that you are trying to market to. Okay, and right now I'm not very clear on who the right audience is for the next platform, for this powerful technology that's being developed. Number two is that before I present something to the marketing committee, I want to have some numbers to prove to them. Before I ask for a bounty or anything like that, I need to be able to show them and demonstrate to them what the marketing efforts I'm going to do are going to produce. So many of you guys know that I spoke at the first Bitcoin conference in Texas, and I spoke about how to gain mainstream adoption of Bitcoins, and then I would include Next into it, all right? And then I created a faucet. I did not know that the marketing committee had a faucet already, but I created my own faucet. And from me talking at the Texas Bitcoin conference, I got like over a dozen new users of Next, and I can confirm that because when you go to my site, I have a list of all the people that left comments with their Next account addresses, and I sent them the Next from my own personal account. Okay, so when I go to the marketing committee, I can prove to them that, hey, you know, $300 was spent on airlines. You know, $100 was spent on hotels, and I went to this conference, and so there was a total expense of $400. And out of that $400, I spoke, you know, for X amount of time, and that $400 that was put into getting me there and speaking, I was able to acquire a dozen new users. All right, I'll round it up to 10 just so the math is easy. So if you look at the math of $400 being spent to get me to the conference, and after my talk we got 10 new users, then the acquisition cost of getting a new user would be $40 per new user. So now when I go and present that to the marketing committee, they can make a decision whether or not they want to support that. Now, in this particular case, I paid for the conference myself. I paid to get to the to Austin. I paid for the hotels. I paid for all my expenses. So I did not ask the next community to pay for anything. Okay, but I invite you that if you are going to submit a marketing proposal to the marketing committee, keep in mind that the marketing committee is not, their job is not to come up with marketing plans. Their job is to approve or disapprove of the funds to be used for that marketing event. So whenever you guys ask me, whenever you guys email me and ask me why I'm not more vocal about it, it's because I don't have a game plan in place at this moment. Not yet, anyways. I'm working on it, but not at this moment, so that I can prove numbers. What I like to do is, the way that I would do marketing in the real world, in the corporate world, is I like to test something small first, and then I get some numbers, the ROI, how much it's going to cost and everything, and then I report back and let the committee know that, hey, if I do this, it's going to cost this amount and it's going to get this many new users, okay? Always keep in mind that, if you just market and throw something out there, a proposal out there, but you have no clear statistics on how many new users that you are going to get, it's extremely difficult for someone to approve the funds for that. And I will use my another example that I have. If you guys go online and search Google what is next and what is NextCoin, a lot of my videos are at the top on the first page of the Google search results. Now, I did that on purpose because I did not want other videos that accuse Next of being a scam or not real or anything like that. So I went out there and several months ago I created those videos on purpose to make sure that it goes to the top of the Google search algorithms so that people will get introduced to Next in a proper way. Now, when I create these videos, I have solid numbers to show for it. So like my what is NextCoin video that shows up when you type in what is NextCoin, the video that I created with my buddy Leon, it has I think like a couple of thousand views on it. I can go and ask the Next community, the marketing committee, for funding to create another video because I have a video already that I created that shows that I can get it to the top rankings of Google and that I can get a certain amount of views for it. All right? It's a lot easier to propose something like that to the marketing committee than to just come and propose something and you have no numbers. You tell them, hey, I want to write these articles or create this website and do all this, and you have no numbers to prove that you can actually get new viewers, new users, or new adopters of Next. So I would just want to share that, and also basically have a response for the people that emailed me about the marketing, and the response for Bitcoin Paul about that. So I know that that Bass is here on the marketing committee, and so if you want to add something to that, please do.
Yeah. Actually, we've been fairly easy with the proposals at this stage. I'm sure you've noticed. We ask for metrics, we ask for plans. It's also a learning curve because people are new to this kind of thinking. It seems very cold to say, okay, this user costs 4 cents or it costs $10. I noticed that a lot if you mention metrics. It's not. It's basically just for us a way to see what we do with the money because it is community money. But yes, be clear about it, and also the one thing that is difficult at this moment for Next is still what is our target group, and we don't really know. So we're also dependent, and happy if people do this, dependent on people coming with plans to target specific groups. We now, for instance, have one vote going for someone who wants to dress up his motorcycle, which his son drives, and the carriage that it's in, and get a QR code on that and drive around. I think it's the U.S. So it gets so Next is visible. It's an interesting approach. Don't know if it will be approved, but it is an approach. Um, I'm glad that you speak out on these things because sometimes it's difficult. And it's very important, this is a point that is very important. We have the mandate to approve or not approve. We don't especially have the mandate to make the plans or to be a kind of a focus group for marketing. We've taken it up because we have a few people in the marketing committee who are in marketing themselves and have plans. That's okay. But they are voted on a more stringent scale. They need a unanimous vote. Other projects don't. Otherwise, it would be very easy to spend all the money on our own projects.
Okay. Well, that's and I just want to let everyone know that my marketing opinions are based on my sales and marketing background. It's not based on what the I do not represent the marketing committee, so I just want you guys to be aware of that, and just to know also that if like I'm not a programmer, I'm not a coder, I'm not a technical person. So when I go and I tell someone like Wesley, who is a programmer, to make changes or make improvements on the um, the Wesley client, I'm qualified to share with him my user experience with the client. But keep in mind that because I'm not a technical person, I'm not really qualified to tell him how to code and how to write the code to make the client work. And it's the same way when it comes to marketing. Although we see the Coca-Cola commercials, we see the Pepsi commercials, and all these commercials on the Super Bowl and the World Cup and things like that. So there's a common thing that we think that when we get into Next or any cryptocurrency, that we understand marketing, and that if we propose something to the marketing committee, that it should, that it's probably going to work. And I can share with you from my experience working in sales and marketing that 95 to 98% of what most people propose in marketing usually does not work. It usually does not work. Okay. If you ask me, hey Ty, will this work to promote Next? I can tell you just from my experience that it probably won't work. However, the 3 or 4 or 5% of the marketing strategies that corporations do use that do work, the return on that is more than enough to cover for the losses in the other 95% that do not work. So just be aware of that. This is marketing is very important and it's very huge. But do not always think that just because you propose something that it's going to automatically work or that it has a high chance of working. The chances are it probably won't work more so than it will work. But that does not mean that you should give up on it. You should try it, and that's why I always recommend people to try it small, right, before you roll out big. Try it small and test it, and once you get some numbers and some metrics and some statistics on whether or not we're getting new users, then it's a lot easier to, once we get some small numbers, test numbers, we can roll out big, and then you can invite other people in to help and make it to scale it up. Okay.
There's also one other thing, because that's good to say at least one of the things that we do look at in the marketing committee, and I think it's a very good thing because sometimes marketing panic breaks out when this happens with other coins, is we don't promote vaporware. So if it's one of the things that has generated some irritation in discussion, but sometimes people want to promote features of NXT or Next that are unclear or that are maybes or not yet specified. And we try not to promote them too hard because we don't know if we can deliver. And if there's one thing that I see in a lot of crypto coins is that a lot of features are being promoted really big and then they can't deliver.
Yeah.
And that's very good. If we don't want to get in the same league as those people and actually want to promote us as a trusted, level-headed, down to the ground and very exciting coin, you don't do that. You say, okay, we do know asset exchange. Okay, we don't know, for instance, the 1,000 transactions per second. We know that it's possible, but with difficulty. So we won't do that right now. Maybe in a year when it's possible. Do it when you can deliver.
Yeah. And hey, also, you just reminded me of something when you said that, Bass. Is that what is the time frame when someone submits a marketing proposal to your committee?
The normal time frame is
like if I submit a marketing proposal to you, when can I expect a response back, whether it's approved or not approved, so that I don't have to sit around and wait for it?
Yeah. We have, when you enter a proposal in the application section, there is a fairly stringent application form which needs to be filled out. If that's not done right, it gets sent back. But if it's filled in well, it's a week. We give ourselves a week to talk about it, also with the one who proposes amongst ourselves, and then it gets voted on. We don't want to take too long, so it's a week, unless a few people have done this, said, okay, I want to put this to the vote with all the risks involved, and I want it now. Then we do it too, but then the chances are really high that it gets rejected, because if we can't check facts, we reject.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. And I just mentioned that, it might, even though I'm not in the marketing committee, I do work in that field every day, and I just wanted to share that about the marketing issues with everyone, because sometimes I see a lot of things that are posted in the forums, and it's usually, and people are not aware or don't have experience in it, and they may not be aware of the realities of marketing a cryptocurrency. And keep in mind that no one knows right now at this moment, because cryptocurrencies are new. So don't be surprised if we have a higher failure rate than we do a success rate. But if we keep at it, eventually someone or a group of us or someone will figure out how to market it properly so that it reaches, it gets widestream adoption by the public. All right. So any last words from anybody? If not, I'm going to go ahead and end this update. All right. So I'm going to say thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thanks for your updates, Data. We really appreciate that. To you, Wesley, for the client, and to Bass, and from the marketing committee, from David, providing us the updates on the next.org, and then for Ignacio for joining us today with the updates from Mexico and the Latin American countries, and then BitVenture. Oh, I also want to say, hey, thanks, BitVenture, for donating the next.org to the community. So we really appreciate that. And then thanks for joining us, Mario. So, and everyone else that's in the YouTube live stream. Shin Next asked on the YouTube live stream, when can we bring the next game developers to the Hangout? If you guys can just contact me or Bass or David offline to let us know what it's about, and then we'll try to include you guys in the Hangout. Okay.
And the question is also which game, because I'm one of the game developers. So.
Okay. Yeah. So just contact us offline so that we'll know what it is that have an idea what you're going to discuss, so that we can include it in the next update. So thanks for joining us, guys, and keep up the good work, everyone.